Welcome to the whitest house. Slave souls haunt the halls when the light is out. Except the blood of the poor and the way they mouth. The last gasp of a world that is dying out. Welcome to the whitest house, where every room is a tomb that they lie about. Where you can put your filthy feet on the finest couch, and for the right amount, you can even buy it out.
That's the essence of your entire political identity. You might be a white supremacist.
To This Week in White Supremacy, we are back. I am one of your hosts. I'm Jasiri X. I'm the co-founder and CEO of One Hood Media. And to my immediate top right or left, depending on how you see your TV, we got the twins.
Staying black, drinking water, you know. That's what we do.
Staying hydrated and minding our business.
Damn, y'all got some big thermoses. All right, and so my brother to the diagonal of me.
Drink water without being jealous.
What's that? What's Aquarius shit?
Well, I got water too. Like y'all just have some big water bottles.
Yeah, you know, I drink a lot of water, so I need the big thermos. You know what I'm saying? Trouble NLS. Never liked sipping, so I gulp.
blah, blah, blah. So shout out, and then we do have our ASL interpreters with us today. So shout out to our ASL interpreters.
It makes us feel like so much more professional that we have ASL. Like,
but we're not though.
Yeah, but we're not. Like that's the thing. It's such an oxymoron. It's such an oxymoron. But
not on this show.
Glashonda for getting us together and supporting us, and it's like, hey, we got to be more accessible. So we're trying. It
really does. Like, all jokes aside, it makes me really happy that we have like that type of representation on here.
Absolutely.
Like, it just feels cool because it's like, yo, our show. Like remember when you were watching TV as a youth and it would be like closed captioning for the hearing?
Yeah.
Now we got technology, bro.
Yeah. And shout out to the FISA Foundation for supporting these
large up order.
Large up to them. So as we gonna get into it, because we did learn that there is a sign for the word nigga, and we're gonna be getting into that. However, as we talk about behavior. Like I would say anti-black behavior. Like, let's get into that. And we wanted to start off with y'all mans, right? What are we calling him? Little J? Is that what is this?
The Sleepy Joe.
Oh, that's funny.
Sleepy Joe.
Y'all can call him Uncle Joe like y'all called that other person.
Right. Yeah, right. Uncle Joe. I mean, he was Uncle Joe. And we're talking about Joe Biden, our current president. He was Uncle Joe, right?
Joe Byron.
And,
Joe Byron,
what's up, baby?
Take me out to dinner.
Hey, yo, that died so fast. Like, that's just like the internet will kill something quick.
Right, it was overshare. But so Joe Biden, y'all, Uncle Joe, our man's right, and the wild part is, and I want to say this up because that was the fear. The fear was. And the trepidation for a lot of people, particularly progressive activists, was Joe Biden, the architect of mass incarceration, right? And Kamala, this prosecutor, right? People call her Kamala the cop, but this prosecutor that jailed a lot of black people, a lot of, my folks in the Bay Area automatically was like, not her. You know what I'm saying? Like, and so the fear was that they were going to come in and they were, we're trying to dismantle mass incarceration. We're trying to defund police departments and use that money to build more community initiatives. And so and from what we understood, like they kind of campaigned like, hey, we know this we did in the past. We've changed. We've improved. We're the new Joe and Kamala, right? Is it? Do we say Aunt Kamala? Is that what we're saying? Uncle Joe and Aunt Kamala? Does she have a nickname? Special K? I don't know. What is it?
Special K.
No, that's an artist. That is an artist. That name is already.
It's also a drug.
Right.
Oh man.
So Joe Biden spoke to the mayors today. I mean, not today, but this week. And Joe Biden has something to say about the movement to defund the police. If you could bring that up, John. This is Joe Biden speaking at the Conference of Mayors.
Did he say that if you don't vote for me again, you're still not black?
if you don't love the police department, you ain't. Go ahead, Uncle Joe.
We're going to say places closer to their jobs.
Whoa! Wait! Hold on. Are you trying to wait? What was that? Is that on?
It was like super fast.
Extra speed? Okay, look. You tried to make it so where he seemed like more coherent. That was Joe making it.
Oh, no, you didn't. You know what?
If you play him in fast, he sounds
closer
like
to their jobs. Funding proven programs to help fight violent crime. We shouldn't be cutting funding for police departments. I propose increasing funding. Look, we ask cops to do everything, including be psychologists and social workers.
But why? We don't want them to do that.
They need psychologists and social workers.
Let's bring in our panel. Joining me.
So let's pause that. So what do you think? I mean, we got a full clip. He was saying we need to fund affordable housing and different things. But when he's saying that, I want to increase police departments, and particularly if he's saying like, because we ask cops to do everything, we actually don't want them to do everything, right? How do y'all feel about, as folks, I'll start with you, Farouk, right? You were on CBS this morning, right? You was with Gail. You was with Gail King.
With Gail.
You was with Gail. Voted for the first time. Mm-hmm. You gave your vote to Uncle Joe. What's up, man? What you thinking? Big T gonna get your vote next time?
Listen, all we asked for was student loan forgiveness, and this nigga said, "Nah, I'm gonna give you more cops and more prisons." Right? So everybody that can't afford to go to university going to jail now. That's what Sleepy Joe said. No, I mean it's whack because like I had a brother I was locked up with came at me kind of wild pause, and he was just like you gotta defend the fact that you're voting for Joe Biden and not Donald Trump. Like, you from the streets, Donald Trump is bailing all these people out of jail. Now to explain to him, like, that doesn't trickle down to black people on our level, right? We catch the blow, we're like, collateral improvement from that, so to speak. Right. All the people that benefit from Trump's bailouts and all that are in a specifically high tax bracket and have access to resources that your average citizens couldn't even dream of. Like, they have access to wealth. Why I decided to vote for Joe Byron, Sleepy Joe, was simply for the fact that he didn't have dog whistle tactics in his election campaign that called to arms for white supremacists, right? Joe Biden, by and large, didn't call for open violence against black and brown people in the country, right? I'm not saying that Joe Biden was, and I said this to Oprah, Oprah's people, rather. I don't want to say I didn't get to talk directly to Oprah, but I spoke every interview I did, I said very clearly, and they cut it all out, and I understand why, that I don't believe Joe Biden is any less of a white supremacist than Donald Trump. I just feel he's less violent.
Right. No, I think that's a great point, right? Because Joe Biden does also have this history, right, with the I forget what the senator who was in the Klan. The Democratic senator was in Klan.
David Duke? Yeah.
No, it was I think it was Storm Thurmond or one of them.
Storm Thurmond.
Of them old Democrats that was like also in the Klan. But I mean, that's real, right? And Biden like loved him, and it was all these segregationists that he loved and built with. Miracle. Oh, do you want? I'm gonna let you get your wash your stuff down. So Miracle
has a very smart dinner. She has some broccoli, some salmon, chickpeas,
cauliflower.
Yeah.
Okay. I like it.
Give me a year. I'm not gonna be the fattest person I want to hood anymore.
Healthy eating 2022.
How to eat to live. So
I need my dairy and my Jesus.
So Miracle, right? We, you do a lot of work with One Hood Power. And we
set you up with when he leaves.
For me? Listen. Jasiri is an expert shade level though. That's what like him and Celeste are a perfect couple because them niggas like they rehearse their shade. I promise.
I do work with One Hood Power. No, I'm just asking because it's like we ask folks to like I did too. I asked for we particularly me and you, Miracle. We asked folks to go out and vote.
is we?
He said, I'm not shouldering this burden by myself. I'm going to drag Miracle into these crosshairs. Like, someone going to catch this bullet with me.
So how do we respond, Miracle? How do we respond to that?
Notice how he said
we have, but go ahead.
What do we say to the community
to listen to our show? Because we told people that what we were doing is picking our enemy when we were voting, because we understood that the system of white supremacy was not going to give us liberation through electoral policies. What it did do is stop some of the violence and stop some of the wars and stop some of the deportations that have now since returned. But it allowed us as people to focus on a lot of domestic things, such as a childhood tax credit that a lot of Black and brown people benefited from. It allowed for an investment into maternal health and mortality, particularly of interest in the Black and brown community. So there were things that we were advocating around and focusing for. We've been very clear that until the people we elect are actually the ones who are representing the people, nothing is going to change. That's why we're pushing for, a change to the systems and doing what we can to put people in positions of power. But you're starting to see that now with our Senate race, with our congressional races, that we're literally picking the people that we want to work for us, and we're drawing our own maps and we're assessing and building our own power. So it was just a tool in our arsenals. Not every time you shoot do you hit your target. We're in the circle. We're not at the bullseye yet, and so we're just going to keep working.
Okay, I like that. That was dope. So I have one more follow-up question for you. No, that was I said that was dope. One more follow-up question for you, Miracle, and then I'm gonna bring you into the conversation, Trouble. So Miracle, today we found out that one of the Supreme Court, I think it's Breyer, is that his name? He's retiring, and Biden is saying that he wants to nominate a Black woman. Is that something? Because one of the issues, right? One of the things about president was Supreme Court. Like that was a big issue because Trump got to put two people on the Supreme Court. They both were, by all accounts, not good people, right? Like had terrible histories. Kavanaugh had a history of sexual assault. The other, I think it's Amy Coney Barrett, had a history of some racial stuff that was kind of wild. Does the fact that Biden is saying that he wants to put a Black woman,
It's not, because let's be very clear. Biden did not say, I'm going to put a Black woman on the Supreme Court. A bunch of Black women got together and advocated and pushed Biden to say he was going to put a Black woman on Supreme Court and to hold him accountable, which I was very shocked. This morning, as soon as the announcement went out, the She Will Rise Sister SCOTUS campaign went up, and they said, not only are we putting up Black women, but here is a short list of qualified Black women who could be on the Supreme Court. So they said, what we are not going to do is forget your promise to us, because you haven't done the student loans, you haven't done Build Back Better, you haven't done paid sick leave, all the stuff you promised to Black women who are your bread and butter and the reason why you're in office. This is the one promise that you're going to see through. And then, of course, we got Feinstein from California talking about we don't need to rush the process because, feminism is for white women. But yes, this is something that's important and something that people demanded of him. This is a promise that he made, and it's not reflective of him. It's reflective of the grassroots organizations and organizers who pushed him to make that promise, because we haven't been on the Supreme Court.
Didn't Tommy Lasagna say something about this?
I don't like to, as I'm in therapy,
who?
I'm trying therapy. As I am in therapy, I'm trying to bring positivity to my space, because it's winter and it's like seasonal affective disorder. I will not even consider a word that individual, because sometimes God does make mistakes, and that's what that person represents.
That's I don't know what y'all talking about, so maybe y'all can let me know on the flip side. So I do want to come to you, Trouble, because another one of the things that came out, right? Another one of the stories was that not only is Biden openly talking about, increasing the police funds, but he's also have increased like the prison system, right? That one of the things that particularly, we're still in a pandemic. And so one of the things that we saw, was like, hopefully we're going to, decrease the prison population, because it's easier to get COVID. You know, we saw calls to close Rikers Island because people are dying in there. We saw all of this violence and death happen in prisons. And instead of actually working to close a lot of these prisons, they're saying that Biden and his policies were actually increasing. Like, is this all of this like for a young brother like yourself that's like just getting into politics? Like, does this make how does this make you feel? Like, does this make you want to continue to participate in the process? Does this make you want some F the Democrats? Like, what's your mindset when it comes to what you're seeing?
This makes me want to listen in closer to the things that they say. You know what I'm saying? Because like this man Biden uses a lot of performative action in his talks. Like, he was being so tough on COVID, sent out a whole letter to, you know, people saying that if you're not vaccinated, you're gonna have a winter full of sickness and death. But you're increasing the budget for prisons to put more people in jail, to give more people the opportunity to catch COVID beyond their will. But you want, you know what I'm saying? It's like pick one, bro. Like, what do you actually stand for? Because it feels like a lot of his beliefs are real shaky. You know what I'm saying? He kind of just stands on them to get your support. And then once he has your support, he kind of just like steps down and he's like, y'all go and listen to whatever I got to say. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
And that's what it feels like having him in office. It's just a smack in the face. It's like if Trump were that outright hateful uncle, Biden's that uncle that like is hateful, but hides it really well with charisma and tries to make you think like, oh, I'm here for you. But behind your back, he's setting up a whole, you know what I'm saying?
I don't know about charisma. I don't know about charisma.
This is how I would put it. If we're using that metaphor right there, the uncles and those type of figures,
Uncle
Joe Biden is like the little league baseball coach, and Donald Trump, Big T, is the dad screaming from the stands at the children, right?
That's a great point. Yes,
you know what I mean. Like
that's
Big T is the one from the stands, like yelling bad at everybody, right?
Yeah,
and then Joe Biden is like, yeah, I know, but you know, I'm coaching here right now.
Yeah, and it almost seems like, I don't know, and you know, I don't want to get too much into like, is it better to, you know, because a lot of times people felt like, oh, well, if Trump's there, like we know he's bad for us, and people like, more rally. What
on this show? Can we like make an official statement for please, like, yo, stop romanticizing the idea that things were like exponentially better with Big T in office? Right?
Yeah. Oh, absolutely not.
We need to kill that, like that whatever hallucination or like, do you not remember what it was like in 2020? Do you leading up to the election? Do you like, where were you for that 4-year term?
It's weird because it's interesting that you say I just had this conversation, and you know, really had a conversation, and I had to send this dude. If you look at like, you know, economists, right? Almost, you know, most of the time a Democratic president comes in office, they reduce the deficit, or, you know, in Clinton's case, leave with a surplus, and then Republicans come in and blow the deficit up. You know what I'm saying? So that's enough. But I think by doing, if you blow the deficit up, a lot of times it maybe makes people feel like, oh, the money's flowing. You know what I'm saying? But then it puts, you know,
do damage repair at that point.
Yeah. So I agree with you. I mean, it is weird, but I do, you know, want to propose this because this is one of the things that came up. The possibility that the black woman that Uncle Joe puts on to the Supreme Court would be Kamala Harris, right? That there, you know, from what we're hearing, and you know, it's kind of a background thing of like, is there beef between Kamala and Joe, and they're kind of keeping her in the background and blah 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 blah. What like would people accept that? Like, how would y'all feel if Kamala goes to Supreme Court? I don't know if Buttigieg becomes the vice president. What do y'all think about a scenario that puts Kamala on the Supreme Court?
In terms of like executive orders, how does that look? Does she become relieved of duty as a vice president? That's how that looks. So
and then I think I remember succession, but I think that if she goes, it's the lady for, oh my gosh, that sounds so
I'm not
Pelosi. Nancy Pelosi becomes vice president.
I think it may be Nancy Pelosi be vice president. If I got to go back, I have to look at my succession.
I'm going back to Canada. Fuck
wow,
this.
That was but not me just wanting to go to Canada and get good food.
Yeah, I mean,
I think I'm going to space.
You know
no, but I mean, I don't know. I mean, I don't, like you said. I mean, I don't see if Nancy Pelosi becomes like Nancy Pelosi vice president. Like to me,
the world would implode.
If Nancy Pelosi becomes vice president, The official colors are going to be kente, right? The national anthem will be changed to Lift Every Voice and Sing. And Nancy Pelosi is going to have a solo from the White House lawn. And she's going to bring Colin Kaepernick with her. And they're going to sing Lift Every Voice and Sing. And Mariah Carey is going to do the background vocals because Nancy Pelosi walked. So Rachel told us how to fly.
Okay, so I don't know if this is the truth, but Amy Carpenter says he gets to choose the new VP. What if he then chose his VP? What if he then chose like Dick Cheney?
That is the rumor. The rumor is that he wants to run a split ticket.
Woo!
And he wants Liz Cheney. No, Dick
okay,
Cheney.
Liz Cheney.
Liz Cheney to be his vice president. To get the conservative vote because they believe that y'all's uncle Big T is going to run again, and so it's okay because you know what,
you can do that. You can have a split ticket.
Yeah, you can pick. Farouk can run and stump for Big T. You could stump for Biden and co, and then we could host the debate.
So question.
And it'd be fine.
So who then does Big T? Are we still saying that? Who then does Donald Trump then put in as VP? Because if Donald Trump, and I know Donald Trump, like
Clinton,
because
he picked Chelsea Clinton.
No, but I mean it's a question, right? Because I would think that Trump, like at that, like so if I'm Trump, right, and I'm not, you know what I'm saying, and nor do I want to see Trump win.
Like Herschel Walker.
It has to be somebody black. It has to be somebody black. Yeah, no,
Herschel Walker or Tim Scott. Like I think that
yes,
because those have he knows he has to have a split ticket, right?
Yes.
You saw it in Virginia. You're starting to see that. No, you're starting to see that a lot of Republicans. You can see here in Pennsylvania, a lot of Republicans are starting to recognize that they just can't have an electorate that does not represent the community and that they live in it and the reality of the people.
An electorate or an electric? Like
I have a speaking impediment, and the fact that you do this
you can't feel it. It's electric. Boogie
and just to speak to Carol,
I'm going to request has another habitat increase.
You want a new twin?
No, I want it raised because I didn't even pay to put up with this for an extra hour.
So they're both old. I would just say that to Carol, like Donald Trump and Biden. That's another thing. They're both old. We need to move on from all of these old white men for real. But it looks like older. That's where we are.
It's that they're older, bad politics, right?
100%.
They have bad politics. There's a lot of great, boomers and elders out there who know what they're doing, who are for the people. But it's like these people that we've elected, we just need something different. Hopefully we get different. But she said Section 2 of the Constitution. Listen, I passed con law with the B+, and that was all I needed to graduate. So thank you. Our board president said I deserve a raise. So
you do deserve your raise. So now one other thing happened politically before we kind of move off of this, and I'm shooting this to you now, John. This video was the fact that and we talked about it a little bit, right? The Voting Rights Act did not pass, right? And
they
people
shot
were
that down on Martin Luther King Day. Pardon my
yeah. And yo, that is a horrible pun.
I didn't even mean
that is not funny at all. Now this dude is laughing. He's laughing at his own savagery. They killed. Probably
move yourself.
I was gonna say they killed it on,
and that point just came to me.
Right. That's where I was gonna say they killed it on Martin Luther King Day. That's worse. That's worse than shot it down. You know what I'm saying? Be honest with you. But Voting Rights Act. we told our ASL interpreters like we're not professional at all. Please forgive us. Okay, so Voting Rights Act were killed, and they interviewed Mitch McConnell, right? Mitch McConnell, the head of the Senate Republicans, and he had an interesting comment that he had to make that kind of goes back to that, what you were talking about earlier about Trump, Farouk, like this racial dog whistle. So here was Mitch McConnell speaking about Black people having the ability or a right to vote. He just has no. Where's his chin at?
Of color who are concerned that without the John L. Lewis Voting Rights Act, they're not going to be able to vote in the midterm.
Well, the concern is misplaced because if you look at the statistics, African-American voters are voting in just as high a percentage as Americans. A recent survey, 94% of Americans thought it was easy to vote. This is not a problem.
So, what do y'all think? I mean, he made a distinction, right? And it's one that I think it's one that I actually think is legitimate, right? Because oftentimes, as an African, like I don't feel like I have like full citizenship in terms of all the bullshit we got to deal with. So, was this McConnell slipping, or was this intentional to say African Americans? He didn't say white Americans. He said African Americans and Americans, as if we were not Americans, or he didn't consider us Americans. Did y'all take it like that? How do y'all feel about Mitch?
Yeah, for me, it rose my eyebrows a little bit because I'm like, oh, like he sounds like one of those, white politicians who still believes that we are 3/5 of a man and not 100%. Deserving of citizenship. You know what I'm saying? So like that distinction just kind of showed me exactly where his head's at.
And what's interesting about it is there is a Black man that's actually running against him that has been campaigning. I believe his name is Charlie Booker, for Mitch McConnell's seat. So it actually behooves Mitch McConnell to say that, to not have Black people vote if he wants to save his own seat. Miracle and Saeed.
That's just him saying the quiet part out loud. Is what we've said for forever, that these bills are meant to stop the way Black people have access to voting power. If you think about it, since the reversal of the Supreme Court's preclearance, the majority of polling places that have closed down, particularly in the South, have been in Black and brown neighborhoods. So people are literally waiting 6-7+ hours just to vote. And this isn't happening in mostly Caucasian neighborhoods and communities. And so you're starting to see a lot of people understand what the barriers are to voting, and the fact that we have such a high voting percentage with all of these hurdles. It doesn't mean that it's not a conversation. It just means that a lot of people are organizing and doing the work to push out the vote, and to remind people that my home state of Georgia has made it a crime. So a bunch of us, are literally going to be risking getting arrested on election day just to give people food and water who've been standing out, waiting outside in the elements to vote. And we know that, like, if it rains, if it snows, if it's hot outside, people literally have to be outside in the elements. And so it's literally trying to do everything you can to create a pretext poll tax. And that's why Sinema and Manchin, or whatever his name is, basically throwing away democracy on MLK Day is so disrespectful and disheartening.
So disrespectful, right? And I think you make a great point in that. I mean, that's what we're fighting for, right? One of the Voting Rights Act, I believe it would have made the John Lewis Voting Rights Act. It would have made Election Day a holiday. It would have allowed, people to more access to vote. I think the reason you saw such a high number of people vote in this past election, because you could do mail-in ballots. You could do, we had early voting opportunities in Pittsburgh. So you can go on a weekend, right? You can go on a Saturday months beforehand, get your vote on, get your registration on. It was made easier. So because it was made easier, more people went out and actually took advantage of it. And it seems like the Republicans want to make it a much harder, because the more people vote, they feel like the less opportunity or chance they have to win. You had something on this, Farouk?
It's interesting that he said that, African Americans are different than traditional Americans, because I don't know what this fascination is with white people about questioning Blackness and, validation for citizenship and everything, and they're requesting all of these receipts. And I think that we're going to see a segment next that's going to talk about how they have the nerve, if nothing else,
The gall.
The gall.
Well, I think that's the thing, Farouk. I don't know if I don't know if we can even comment.
Yeah, I don't know if we do. Are we like together? Can we comment? Like if we're like, you know, with our powers combined, can we be Captain Blackness?
Dad, I'm coming home. Keep it.
Hold on for 1 second. My son is trying to call me right now. Son,
it's killed the joke.
I do a show every day.
Okay, so what I think John can go ahead and cue up the video because you know sometimes people have conversations in private and they forget they shouldn't have them in public.
Right.
And I think that this may be one of those times. So here's a conversation of
this is the man from Canada too, right?
That's y'all's friend. Y'all men love him for some
reason.
reason.
No, not Joe Rogan, the other man.
Yeah, y'all.
He's
y'all.
from Canada.
This is y'all's Mel's.
He's the white Kevin Samuels, right?
Oh wow!
All, why is black people? You know what? I'm not even about to see. This is why he was talking about you, John. Can you just play the clip a little bit because I just want people to understand what's happening here.
Depending on who you ask, either you're a voice of reason and rationality and personal responsibility, or you're a voice of intolerance and bigotry and anger and hateful
sexual oppression,
what did Michael
prejudice.
Eric Dyson call you? An mean angry white man.
And a mean, angry white man.
Yeah.
Why you got a tuxedo?
That's what's dumb about that statement. It's you're not mean at all. It's
I am white. Actually, that's a lie too. I'm kind of tan, and he was actually not black. He was sort of brown.
Where?
Because I'm darker than you.
Yeah,
that's ridiculous.
Yeah, but neither of us are white.
Well, I'm Italian,
and
mostly.
He was brown, not black.
Well, isn't that weird?
Yeah, it's really weird.
The black and white thing is so strange because the shades are so
tan and brown.
There's such a spectrum of shades of people. Unless you're talking to someone who is like 100% African from the darkest place where they're not wearing any clothes all day and they've developed all that melanin to protect themselves from the sun.
Only there was a theory to
even
explain.
the term black is weird. And when you use it for people that are
if only there was a theory that explained why people call themselves black. If only there was something that could teach white people why they're called whites.
I heard something, right? I heard something one time, and I think we talked about this before, like earlier in the show. Wasn't there like this theory that people came here on ships against their will, right? Didn't something like that? Am I making that up?
Actual facts.
Yeah.
Did that happen? Okay. And didn't they decide that like,
wait,
hey,
I don't. I actually don't think we're allowed to get into that history in the United States anymore.
Oh yeah, it's banned.
That's right. Yeah,
we might go to jail.
Particularly Mississippi. I mean, Mississippi just outright banned. So yeah. So I mean, of course, critical race theory would make sense. Right? It's so much funny about this clip to me. One, the fact that like, you know, here's one white man talking to another one. You don't look very angry to me. Of course, white. Like, why would this white man, you know what I'm saying, like, be angry to you as another white man, right? You know what I'm saying?
He got
like,
a smoothie order messed up or something.
Right. It's not right. I totally forgot about that. Two, like when he goes into like why does somebody black have to be like in Africa with no clothes on? Like, why does they have to have an absence of clothes? And it's like melanated, right? You know what I'm saying?
White people always want to go to this one during the summer. I'm darker than you. Like, like that doesn't mean anything. Like, I hate, like, you know.
Well, I don't know. Well, maybe we need to ask Miracle. Miracle, are we black? Or me and
I've never said y'all were not black. I have never said that.
You just let the comment section tell us the story.
Well, I represent.
You don't defend us.
I represent the people who don't have to post pictures to say they are black. That's what I said.
They don't got to post their parents.
I never said y'all were not black. And for over a year, y'all have been acting like y'all are cancers and being so sensitive. But I made that joke one time.
Wait,
so you think I'm sensitive, Miracle?
You cancer slander on the TM.
It's like, damn, bro. I just ain't shit now, huh?
Listen, I'm a Sagittarius.
Trouble has also.
Y'all call me a terrorist on my birthday, and so let's not pretend like anybody is offended. Number one. Number two,
you said I represent the people
I
don't
do.
have to.
She said you have to show your dad.
They're the same color as me during the summertime. I don't know. I don't have those struggles. I don't have that experiences.
Yes.
That's what I said. I also said,
and I remember
people are light skinned and can have two black parents. They're like my cousin. A lot of my cousins,
yes, me too,
are lighter than both of y'all, and both of their parents are my complexion.
Both
so
my
I
parents are black.
How genetics work, and I was making a joke. Obviously, that's sensitive for a couple of people.
Well, for Trouble also did say like he thanked somebody for not calling him light skinned. So that I also felt that.
I mean, life is different because y'all have other issues, right? Would I say y'all are light skinned? 100%. Now, will I say y'all?
We are. I mean, you're not saying anything that's untrue.
You're not Drake, though. You're not light skinned.
Light skin but a tar, nigga.
We're not that. We're it's officially done. We're light skin inside and out. Miracle
moment. That was a light skin moment.
We're light skin inside and out.
But what I was saying was the elasticity of whiteness is not the same as elasticity of blackness because of the history of slavery. And the only time you really see people opting into blackness is when they can capitalize off of it and profit.
You mean
and profit off of it.
Like getting nominated for an NAACP Image Award? Like that?
Why do y'all that stuff triggers me?
Are we talking like
and let's get
into
it.
Can we finish? Let's finish.
Can we point out that's a great point. These women who are opting into blackness because y'all men let it happen. So we were out here kicking out Iggy Azalea. Y'all let 6ix9ine run around and call y'all the N-word. So we are not the same, okay?
I'm with you.
I was just saying that.
And all them niggas went to jail too, and he's out living his best life.
Out with a firm silk press. But what I was saying was
he does got the silk.
Joe and Jordan are wrong with the idea of what blackness is because of slavery. Some of us will never know where we come from, and we didn't want to be called the N-word. We want to be called Negro, and so we said we are black and we're from this diaspora, as opposed to white people who were like, well, we're not dark, we're light. And they took on the identity of whiteness when they're Italian and Irish. And I've always said, I would like for more people of Caucasian descent to claim their heritage, because maybe then they would have something to be proud of instead of always trying to co-opt and steal and destroy Black and brown folks. If they were like, hey, I'm my Italian, my Irish, European, beans and mash are not my thing. But I feel like there are things from like the European countries that people can like lean into for their own history.
Yeah. Trouble. What do you think about Joe and Jordan in this what happened?
I feel like they were being like super sarcastic, you know what I'm saying? Like the way they said it at first didn't make me feel like they meant that, you know what I'm saying? Like I feel like they were kind of trolling a little bit, but still it's like that's a real conversation that white people have, you know what I'm saying? So like the social impact of it is like you're revealing that like while you're being sarcastic now, this is a conversation that y'all engage in. You know what I'm saying? Of like Black people having to validate our Black card to a person who's not even of this diaspora. So shouldn't even be part of this conversation. I feel like we should be more. I feel like we should normalize telling people they're not qualified to have certain conversations. It's like, 100%. Bro, just leave that topic matter alone. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. It's like, talk about what you can talk about.
Right. All right. And then this is the thing. Like when you say I'm not white, like you'll say you're not white, but you won't give up any of the benefits that come with being a white man. Right. And that's the thing, right?
For a day.
You'll say like, oh, I'm not white. But if somebody said, okay, denounce white supremacy, denounce these practices that solely only benefit like white male patriarchy, like that's why Jordan Peterson is known, right? Because he upholds these like white male ideologies, right? That's why you're known. So to say I'm not white, but then come around and you won't denounce or you won't not accept the benefits of being a white man, Joe Rogan in the same way, right? You're allowed to have these conversations around misinformation. It's been like Black people been kicked off and and deprogrammed and all that. Joe Rogan's has the biggest show on one of the biggest podcasts, the biggest podcast network in the world, and nobody's deprogramming him. Nobody's even talking about taking his show off the air. That's that white male privilege. And so that's what's so weird. Like, oh, this white thing is so weird. All right, well, denounce the benefits that come with you being a white man, and then we could talk about like what white and black actually mean. But we know that it is a construct that we didn't create, but you absolutely benefit from it. And those are the conversations that they won't have, and like Trouble said, aren't qualified to have. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely, yeah. We shouldn't have white people talking about issues pertaining to blackness because it doesn't have anything to do with you. That's not like Trouble said it best. You're not qualified to have that conversation, bro. Like, you know, as someone who I will listen to Joe Rogan talk about martial arts and boxing because that's an area of expertise that I listen to him in. And as a martial artist, I'm like, oh, he knows his shit. Like he's a student of it. Like I get it. Yeah. Anything other than that, though, I can't listen to it because he's so involved in his white supremacist fan base at the very least. Even if he, let's just play devil's advocate. Even if he himself doesn't believe that, he knows his fan base does. So he gives them the fodder to comment, to be in the comment sections and all that shit, and to have Jordan Peterson on there. Go on, what are you gonna say?
So if you follow and listen to him, are you not the fan in his fan base?
I mean, I don't subscribe to him. I was
just asking.
Oh, I mean,
you watch MMA. I guess Farouk is saying like he watches MMA fights.
Yeah,
no, he said he listens to his podcast talking about MMA fights.
No, I click the links whenever they say have him talking about those things on YouTube. Like, is it not? It's the same thing.
She's saying like don't listen to him at all, and that's a good point because I do feel like it is interesting, right? Because it's like here are people that are having a conversation where no one asked them to have a conversation about this,
right? Yeah, it's like
nor like Trouble said are they qualified, but then when we want to have a conversation with somebody, right? Because you mentioned, right? Here is, which is so I actually thank the NAACP for nominating Awkwafina for a NAACP Image Award. If y'all don't know who Awkwafina is an Asian woman
who's the bane of my existence.
Yeah, that came up, right? Even choosing the name Awkwafina, right? To try to mimic the names like black women's names.
Well, it's
right?
not. It's the way she spelled it. It's not even her choosing the name Awkwafina. It's the way she phoneticized it.
She's trying to actually mimic the names that black women have, right? So she calls herself Awkwafina, and utilize this black scent in order to gain recognition. And now that she has fame and recognition, now all of a sudden it's like, oh, I'm not going to do a stereotypical Asian part, but yet you played this stereotypical black part, right? Or this mimicry,
this caricature,
this
caricature of a black woman,
of blackness, even down to like what name you called yourself. And so it is kind of wild that the NAA, I mean, it shows you like is the NAACP trolling, or are they just so out of touch? And it's probably the second one, right? It's probably the NAACP being so out of touch they don't even know about the conversation that folks have been having. So, but it's like, to me, it's like it brings us back up, right? We need to have a conversation like Awkwafina, like, why did you do this? Like, and she had mentioned like, oh, that's a deeper conversation. We're ready to have the conversation. So how do y'all feel about Awkwafina? Is she going to come to the NAACP award?
Damn well she like.
She might. I don't know. Dude, if you're Awkwafina and the black people nominate you and you don't show up, is that worse for you?
What if they bomb her when she come up on stage? Like,
boo her.
You can only accept this in black scent. You can only only accept it for the voice we nominated you for.
Thank y'all, my niggas. So what she came
out? She was like, yo, my nigga, this award go dumb hard. Appreciate all my niggas on the ends. Shit is popping. I'm fucking with it. Fuck your life. I'm out. Watch my next film, nigga. I'm like, yo, okay.
Now you'll be a fan. Miracle, do you have anything to say about Awkwafina? Because you brought it up, right? You know that like a lot of times it's these women, right, that kind of come in, they're not black, and they use all these things, and they're like a lot, right? She's in a movie with, what is the brother's name? Marshawn Ali. She's in the movie This Brother. You know what I'm saying?
Mahershala Ali.
Mahershala. Okay, I fucked it.
Mahershala.
Thank you. Mahershala. She's in the movie Mahershala Ali. She's doing big Disney things like.
I think it's that Marshall.
If it's nothing Farouk is going to do, he is going to make fun of the way you pronounce a word.
Just listen. When we had a Keurig in here, Jasiri was like, "Yo, can you put something in the Krug?" I was like, "What? The what?"
I'm gonna just give it my. That's my brother. That's my unique language to me. Okay, that's Jasiri X's unique language. Yes,
that's a unique. Exactly. That's the unique Chicago dialect right there. I just don't.
I did say, what's his name again?
Mahershala. I think it said Marshawn. Marshawn. You're like
Mason Marcella.
Like
Marcella. So Miracle, how do you as a Black woman, how do you feel about Awkwafina getting a NAACP Image Award?
I feel like
nomination?
This is just on trend for the NAACP. They gave Biden an award. They gave Trump an award. Every time somebody is out here just disrespecting the Black community, the NAACP likes to both sides the issues and thinks that they're like bringing and building these big tent. So the fact that she was nominated is highly problematic. There are other actors and actresses that they could have used to nominate people for things, but yeah, it's just disrespectful. Like the fact that she and the other people use Black scent, darken their skin, get the nails, get the hair, pretend to be Black, and then when they get a certain measure of success, all of a sudden they're able to be their true selves. That's the issue. That is
absolutely.
Yeah. So I got questions. That gave me a lot of questions, right?
Mm-hmm.
First question is, what even is the NAACP Image Awards? Second, what qualifies somebody for one? And third, why did they give one to Awkwafina?
Well, I mean, the Image Awards were created to just kind of like recognize, the national advancements of colored people, I guess.
It's all right. We're not getting no Oscar. Rarely. It's
supposed to be. There's supposed to be a certain amount of prestige assigned to the award.
But it was really like
awards would never disrespect people.
Come on.
well, really,
Don Cornelius would never.
Yeah, to your point, Trouble, it was like
I'm gonna say BET will do some fuck shit.
And I think this was before BET, right? This was like we're not getting nominated for no Oscars a lot of time, like Black films and Black TV shows weren't recognized in award season, right? Remember, April Reign started Oscar So White, and that finally pressured them to maybe nominate a Black person every now and then, right? The Emmys got first. Remember, it was just recently. Which one was it? Golden Globes had never nominated any, or no Black people were even on the nomination committee. And so this was when a lot of these people weren't recognized. So the NAACP which was brilliant, right? They came in and they was like, we gonna recognize our actors, our TV shows, our movies. And so that's where they came in. I didn't know. I assumed, and I guess I was wrong. I thought you had to be Black to get an NAACP Image Award. I guess I was wrong.
Well, that was one thing that my dad would tell me a lot about the movement, that the NAACP, they made it for the advancement of colored people.
Yeah.
So, you know what I mean? To get that
That's
money.
For me and you. That's for me and you, Farouk. So we could,
I guess,
be a part of it, because we're not Black. We're
not Black.
NAACP was founded by Black and Jewish people.
Yeah, Black and Jewish people. Yeah.
It's always been expansive. The problem is that the expansiveness does not come with the idea of politics. That there should be something that says you cannot be in our community or celebrated in our circle if you are disparaging our people.
Say that again, because that was deep.
You can't get an invite to the cookout. Like, you can't even get a to-go plate. Like, why are you here? Why do you think you could be here? Like, you cannot disparage our people and think that you should be celebrated in our circles. It doesn't make sense.
What, in my opinion, what Awkwafina has done has been so egregious, because at least, this is how I'm looking at it, right? And this might be my warped metric of it, but at least Iggy Azalea played the role all the way out. She's like, you know what? I'm putting all my A's in this basket. I'm going to have a baby with a Black man. I'm still going to rap. I'm still going to culturally appropriate on, Instagram. I'm going 10 the whole way, right?
Yeah.
Aquafina was like, I use this to get my platform, and now I'm abandoning it now. And now I'm above stereotypes. When it comes to my culture, you won't disrespect my culture by having me play a stereotypical role. Absolutely. And completely forgetting the fact that prior to that, that's how we knew you.
Right. But that's usually how it's done, right? Usually it's that like, oh, okay, you know, the white pop singer, she has to look edgy. So like, let's get her with the Migos. So let's get her with these, have her do like the black hip hop thing. And then she goes pop. And then next thing you know, she's doing like strictly white music. Like that's normally how it is, right? We'll use blackness and proximity to blackness and black culture to get hot. And now that we're hot, we'll completely cross over. We'll leave black people behind. We're certainly not worried about, Miley Cyrus. We're certainly not worried about no black issues. We're not worried about like black people getting no justice nowhere. And that's the thing. Like Aquafina, you have a large platform. You know what you did. We all know what you did. Like we all know what you did. Like you could like use your platform to say, yo, I messed up, I'm wrong, and to make up for it.
You were in a fucking film with Rihanna.
I didn't
like, Ocean's 9.
Oh yeah, I didn't watch that.
It wasn't bad. But you're in a film with Rihanna, right? Like, please tell me that conversation at least happened on a set.
Probably not. I mean, and to be honest, like Rihanna is somebody that is Rihanna gonna have a conversation with y'all. Like Rihanna is Rihanna, right? Well, Rihanna probably didn't even. Rihanna might not have known who she was. And Rihanna is so much bigger. Even whatever star was in that movie, Rihanna's bigger, right? Rihanna is the biggest thing.
She's one of the most recognizable faces and names in the world.
Exactly. Rihanna probably pulled up in her private jet, shot the scene, and flew away in her private jet. Probably didn't say nothing to anybody. But I think like, what's my brother's name?
Mahershala Ali.
Mahershala. I would want Mahershala, like, what's up? Like, I would want Mahershala to say, yo, like, what's up with this? Like, I would want Mahershala to be a little bit more aware, you know what I'm saying? And I would want Mahershala as a star, maybe even to say, not her. Like, we can let's find a black woman, let's find somebody that doesn't have that baggage. Now.
So that'll be interesting with those.
Yeah. But I mean, he already, to me, the fact that Mahershala, you the star of the movie, you already let her in. You know what I'm saying? And I think that goes back to Miracle's point, right? Brothers got to stop this. You know what I'm saying? Brothers got to stop. Nah, man. Remember, it was T.I. that was trying to push Iggy Azalea on us. Like, brothers got to stop this, man. And brothers got to be held accountable. And so, you know what I'm saying? I'm purposely mispronouncing the brother's name until he does something, until he makes a statement. Now, what's up?
I stand by that. I'm not mad at you.
You're Marshawn from now on. All right. We got to hear.
So,
we got to hear from you.
The interesting thing about this conversation that I had to pull out, I'm pulling out some wisdom from it, right? This is showing me that, like, in order for us to really instill like any type of reformative justice, atonement is necessary. It's not enough to just change. You know what I'm saying? It's not enough for Aquafina to be like, you know what? I'm not going to play into stereotypes anymore without her actually atoning for the times when she did lean really heavily into stereotypes in order to build the platform that she has now. You know what I'm saying?
You gotta apologize to the community. Let me just speak anecdotally here as someone who fucked up a lot in the public, right? I had on record in interviews in the press and everything in my early and mid 20s made a lot of terrible homophobic and awful statements, right? I took the responsibility, right? Not only for myself, but for the development of my person to apologize to that community. Right? Because the shit I said was hurtful, it was disgusting, it was whack, right? Because that was just acceptable at the time that, you know, Jasiri and I grew up. That was just like what we came up with. Times have become a lot more civilized in terms of engagement and dialogue and interactions with people who don't come from the same culture as you.
Absolutely.
To echo what you're saying, you absolutely have to come to the community that you offended, right? And Miracle made that same point and put it out on the table, right? Because like there's no I should have been better. It's the fact that you made money. You produce capital and income off of a caricature of us.
And we have the receipts, right? It's like
we
have these videos, we have these receipts, we have everything. Like, you know, you didn't scrub them from the internet. Like we got them.
You were a rapper. Like you made records.
Yeah, it's weird.
The funny thing is, she is a woman of Asian descent from the suburbs who lied and tried to say
she's from Forest Hills, Queens. Yeah,
and lied and yes, Forest Hills, Queens.
Forest Hills, Queens,
but,
not Jamaica, Queens, like where I went to high school.
I was about to say, but lied and tried to tell people she was from Queens, the borough, and that's why she had the accent and she grew up around Black people. And then her friends were like, "Yeah, nah, we went to school with her. That like we barely had Black people in our community." And so that's what made it hurtful. And to Trouble's point, even if you cannot go back and apologize to the people you hurt, we have transformative justice, practice that talks about how you can make amends and reparations without even bringing the victims, the people you harmed, into your journey of self-growth and awareness. And there really hasn't even been that conversation. I think it was Eddie Murphy who talked about like having kids is the reason why his art form changed, right? And talked about like what he would do and what he wouldn't do and why. Right. You can still have a conversation. She can have a conversation with a British Vogue. She can have she even have to have a conversation with an American media outlet. She can have that conversation overseas. No, it's still going to be picked up and gain traction here, and talk about how she learned to do things differently and how she won't do the same things. And that could signal something different, but she doesn't care enough to do that at this point. And that's the problem.
Yeah. And I think you broke it down, and hopefully the next time we talk about her, maybe she addresses it. But I do think that like I would want solidarity amongst our community and our people to do that. So we have, last but not least, right? Right. We have I'm gonna still use the word Karen. I mean, because I think we use Karen. Karen's like genderless, right? You know what I'm saying? Like Karen is.
We gave a black pastor the Karen of the week last week.
Can we not?
Yes, we did. Yes, we won't bring that up, but that was a while. But this week's Karen. I mean, and it's wild to me how like people can get so mad, know they're on camera, but still be willing to like throw their careers away. And my man got the wrong smoothie.
Oh, I thought we was talking about the other one. I thought we was talking about the actual Karen. The one who said she was gonna bring the gun to school.
Oh man, I forgot. I thought we were talking about Smoothie Man.
That's what I thought we was talking about.
Was her name Karen? Was her actually named Karen?
I don't know, but all I know is she said she was going to bring a gun to school. And
do we have that video, John? Do we have the video of the woman that said she was going? I totally forgot about that. Right. What was her? Her name was Karen, right?
Was it really?
I don't know.
I'm asking you. God, please.
Hold on.
Inshallah, her name was Karen.
So you want to talk about Virginia?
Yeah, I mean, we can talk about her while we're waiting. We can talk about the smoothie.
No, let's talk about her because I think that was kind of wild, right? And for those that don't know, she went to a school board meeting. I'm pulling it up right now, and I'm seeing if her name is actually. Oh no, her name is Amelia. Okay,
that's like Karen in French. I don't know. Amelia is Karen in French.
Amelia King was so upset about the mask mandate. Mind you, the masks are to protect.
How great your life must be for a mask mandate to be the straw that breaks the camel's back. My Lord.
I mean, and not only breaks the camel's back, brother, she actually said that she was going to bring every single gun that she had loaded and ready to school if the school was to initiate some type of mask mandate. And what was even more interesting about it was initially she wasn't even arrested because supposedly she apologized. You know what I'm saying?
The definition legally of a terroristic threat.
All right. So I'm gonna shoot you this video right now, John. If you could throw up this. Oh, you got it. Because I just found it. I was going to send it to you. So let's see. And what was also so funny I thought about the video was like the school board members, it was almost like they heard her say wild stuff before. It wasn't like they were necessarily moved. You know what I'm saying? Like, because I don't
every
know.
school board has one of those parents. Every one of them does.
A parent that like threatens like the school with violence.
Listen, I went to the high school I ended up graduating with. Is true story. We had a kid whose mom got upset that we was watching The Little Mermaid because Ariel showed cleavage.
Oh wow! Did she threaten to shoot up the school? Do you have the video? Let's pull that video up, John, and so we can hear. This is Amelia King, one of our Karens of the week. Let's go.
First, I want to say that I typically come to these meetings with a written statement. I like to sound educated.
And did it this
when
time.
I go off the cuff, I get really passionate. And
she warned us.
I'm not always able to say exactly what I want to say in the appropriate way.
Premeditation.
The last time I was here, I did come with a prepared statement. And I did go over my 3 minutes. There were several people here, Breeden and Painter, who had a fit, cut the microphone off. And what the general public doesn't know is that sweet Mr. Cave came up and keyed the microphone, requesting backup for arrest because I continue to speak past my time allotment. Working in the dental field, if somebody has a problem, I don't just cut them off at 15 minutes and say, oh, I'm sorry, we didn't get that a problem addressed, but if you make another appointment, we'll see you again.
Why do people come to city council meetings?
Okay, so I think what I've asked for before is transparency. I'm not sure why it is that you can't give me the time with a prepared statement, so I'm not rambling on and wasting your time.
That's exactly what you're doing.
I decided to come without that prepared statement today.
Send an email.
Yes.
Interestingly enough, we
it's not
went
interesting
along
too.
with
Interestingly enough, it's not interesting at all.
You know what? They're not saying their best.
The last governor's mandate, the executive order seemed to be awesome, just applauded by everyone here on the board, and that is the path that we took. Obviously, people got riled up because Northam
it's just a mess. Like,
pardon? Okay. Because Northam refused to acknowledge parents' rights. Hello.
It's not your parents' rights.
And maybe something to do with the Loudoun County rape that was covered up because they were concerned, they were not concerned about issues in the girls' bathroom. However, I still fight for transparency. I still think that you need to honor the wishes of parents. And as I emailed on Tuesday, we need to think as a collective county. We don't need to worry about what Richmond has to say. And there's a lot of science. There's a lot of good science.
That's how
the mask protects the person that's wearing it.
That's 3 minutes.
Mm-hmm. All right. No mask mandates. My children will not come to school on Monday with a mask on.
Then they're going home.
That's not happening.
I
will bring every single gun loaded and ready to. I will call every.
That's 3 minutes.
Policy.
What this is what like,
bro? She really said that. That's wild.
He said, I'm passionate.
Yes,
and violent, and because y'all wouldn't let me write my prepared statement, you're gonna get this work.
But how do we go from not bringing your children to school, like cool, like you don't want to bring your children to school, you don't want to. How do we get from there to I'm gonna bring every loaded gun? Like why? Like you know what I'm saying? Like
that escalated very quickly. Like that escalated very quickly.
I wish parents did this when they were kicking out girls for wearing tank tops and sleeveless shirts in school.
Did not care.
When you had to put your fingertips next to your thighs.
The Bill Cosby test. Like, I wish parents cared that much about their students' rights and safety when all this stuff was going on. You're asked to wear a mask. We wear a mask. I got tested earlier, so it was negative today, so I don't have my mask on. But we share. Well, we share food and
I just had some of your salmon, so it was
so like, you know, but
was that COVID salmon? It was tasty.
But like, it makes absolutely no sense for people to be this irate because students come, it takes off, all type of stuff. Like, why are you mad that people are trying to protect your child from an illness that we're now seeing messes with your blood and messes with your heart rate? Like, we don't know the long-term effects. We're just literally trying, and you can get breathable masks, you can get performance masks, you can get mask things to make it stick out so it's not on your nose, on your lips, so you don't mess up your makeup. There's so many different things that you can do. You also have clothes now that just have like the little things you put over your ears, so it's just like you put a little hoodie or a tank top. You got the pusheisties, you know, if you want to be fashionable.
Balaclava, yeah.
You know, you've got so many things, and I don't, like, for the life of me, I don't understand why people are so resistant to like, it's literally like we do it all the time. Did you not, like, as a kid?
You cover your mouth when you cough.
Like in
when
school.
You yawn.
Like didn't everybody like pull? I got the, you know.
Went to the dentist.
Like, everybody used to, like, I don't understand.
Like, if someone fought around you, you do this.
Went to the dentist. Like, the dentist got a mask on. Go to the, like, it was never a problem. But this was the thing. This was the funny. How dare you try to protect my children? I'm going to kill everybody. Like, how do you get to? Like, that's what's so weird. I'm gonna bring every loaded gun. Like, what are you? And then
that's that American infatuation that protection has to equal death. Yeah. Right? Like that's the only correlation that these people have with protection. It's like, no, your protection is inadequate, so I'm gonna bring guns into the situation. Yes. There's nothing more American than that. Like, that's one of the most American things to do.
And you know what's so wild? It's like, you can't shoot COVID.
Can't shoot
COVID. Like, I'm sorry.
But you can get a vaccine. You can get shot.
No,
you know, like, my thing is, even if you are someone who doesn't trust the government, it's like, you're doing this one thing that literally is not invasive or intrusive. It's wearing a mask, a cloth, a covering, and it doesn't hurt you or harm you. And they even have see-through ones now, right? You even have ones that, like, if you're worried about people not being able to see you smile or read your lips, you even have accessible masks now where you see people's nose and face. And so again, like, I'm not really understanding of how a simple act of wearing a mask has become so political to the point that people want to take up arms. And like, most of, like, and also, how many guns do you have, ma'am? Like, like, you only have two hands.
So
how many guns do you have in your home?
Apparently she has a lot, and they're all loaded. She has a lot of bullets too. She has a lot of bullets.
What was the actual recompense? So she was arrested, and
she finally was arrested, and she was charged with a violation of Code of Virginia, oral threat while on school property. So that's what she was charged for. It said that she later sent an apology to the school board that was read out loud. They had to step up. I guess at the new school board meeting, they actually had to, like, step up police presence at the school because they didn't know if she was going to show up with all of her guns. That's what she said. You know what I'm saying?
Let's say something for a moment while we still. I mean, we're already here. We're all friends, right? What if this inspires a parent to come to school? Because all of these school shootings are replicas, like they're facsimiles of another. That's how you Americans do, is you copycat one another and make murder off of it. And then you sensationalize it and you create all these, you know, policies and you know, oppressive edicts that don't benefit anybody. But what if a parent is like, you know what, that's a great idea.
Yeah,
that's a great idea. I'm going to come to school and I'm going to shoot somebody because my child has to wear a mask.
And this is the other thing, Farouk, because there's been all this talk about crime is rising and the increase in crime, and I got to worry about being robbed or right. But it's just like that. But of course, that crime, I'm worried about crime, and somebody might rob me or somebody might carjack me. that's always couched in like that's black and brown people, right? That's scary black and brown people in the hood that are coming out of their hood and they're coming to rob you, you know. So that's okay, right? That's like, oh, we need more police, right? But when we see this white woman actually do a crime on camera, it took like the internet like showing it for them to even do anything about it. And so white people having a bunch of guns, bro, come on, man. They're still trying to get people to take the Capitol riot seriously. They just dropped a new Capitol riot video that shows them grabbing cops and throwing them to the ground as they break in the doors, bro. Like, this is America, right? You know what I'm saying?
Yo,
like,
that makes me think, if she was a black woman, would we have needed a video for them to take action?
Nah, bro. Come on.
She would have got arrested. She wouldn't have been able to leave. They'd have been like, what? You said that's a threat. She would not have been able to leave that room. We just showed a video where they had some police meeting at city council and they picked the black dude up like by his legs and arms and he wasn't even doing anything.
Just for being there. Just for being
a black person that was there. So I don't know. I mean, we're kind of running late, but we might as well get the smoothie dude. I guess we can laugh at, just like you said, these are angry white people, right? And whenever we talk about crime, we never talk about a white person so mad that his smoothie had peanuts in it that he like tried to run up on a group of young girls that were just there working a minimum wage job. This is why nobody wants a minimum wage job, because angry white people might run up on you and act crazy. You know what I'm saying?
This you know what?
You want to just play the video, John?
Let's play the video.
Yeah.
No video TV.
You have no room to yell at us.
I want to speak to the fucking person who made this drink. Is that you?
No, we don't know who made it. So
You don't know who made it?
there's 4 of us here, so we obviously don't know.
Fucking stupid, fucking ignorant high school kids.
Okay, bye.
I want to speak to the fucking
Bye. Okay, you can call corporate whenever you want. Bye.
Come on, blue shirt.
Yeah, I like blue shirt spirit.
Yeah, she's feisty. Yeah,
Blue shirt wasn't having it.
I'm calling the police. I'm calling the police.
He threw the smoothie at her, for those that don't know.
I want the fucking telephone number right now.
Nigga, you got Google? You got Google?
Down. You can call corporate whenever you want. Bye.
You're a fucking idiot.
Okay, good for you. Bye.
I want the
Bye. Bye.
Shut up.
You shut up. You're not gonna tell me to shut up. The fuck? Who are you?
Listen,
Who are you?
Blue shirt has been through some things.
What? Fuck you.
And blue shirt said you got the right one on the right day, because she is not the one or the
You're going to
two.
jail. You're going to jail, you racist piece of shit.
Yeah, that's good enough. Yeah, that's good enough, John. Yeah,
And he tried to break in the back.
He tried to break in the back.
That's white male fragility, right?
Well, like, why was he
That's
trying to
real
break
shit.
in the back? Like, it's like, how violent are you? And again, it was a smoothie. Maybe he ordered it. People don't know what's happening. You're mad aggressive. This is why I say we need another lockdown, because y'all do not know how to act in public. Y'all are embarrassing people. Like, people are trying to just do work to barely get by, and you come up here acting a fool. He makes like almost $1 million.
Yeah, and to me, Miracle, I think he was trying to break in the back, honestly, to get the phone, because
I
he
think
knew
he
he was
wanna
on
beat
video.
them up.
Yeah, he knew he was on video. Yeah. Oh, he probably would. I mean, you see his anger. I mean, he was angry from the door. And so supposedly his son had a nut allergy. His son had an allergic reaction. But that, like, do you think somebody was trying to intentionally hurt your son? These are young women working at some smoothie place. This ain't James Bond. Like, nobody got like put a hit on your child. You know what I'm saying? It was an accident, but he came so aggressively and angry from the gate. So I just want to say his name real quick. His name was Jim Ananzo. I think that was his name. Am I pronouncing that right, Farouk?
I don't know. I don't know. I just know there's some deads in there. There's an I. It's very Italian.
Inazzo. Jim Ananzo. Anazio, maybe that's correct.
Anazio, maybe, I don't know,
Yeah,
but like it, you see the white male fragility there. It's like, one, how dare this woman speak to me this way? How dare this child woman speak? This young girl speak to me? How dare this person who I deem beneath me because what her culture is and what she presents as? How dare she speak back to me as a white man? Right? And this is the thing. And Joe Rogan, where Joe Rogan? I thought you was Italian, right? Ain't this your people then? Right, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, where does that stand? Like, here's the thing. Maybe it's because I'm a Virgo. Maybe it's because it's just like how I'm made. But like, if my order's wrong, right, I gotta tell my girl, like, yo, this ain't what I ordered. I'm not like, you know, I'm like, babe,
you gonna have your girl going throwing this movie.
Bro, like, bro, because like I know you seen the meme. He didn't want mashed potatoes. Like, you know, that's how I be. Yeah. I'll eat it. This fine. You know what I mean? Like,
see, I'm that partner. I'm the one who would be like, yo, like, I don't know if you have ears, bro, but that's definitely not what she said.
I pick my battles, right? I just know not to say.
But I mean, but there is a way, right? People make mistakes, right? Hey. Right. I just want to let somebody know. And you can say that, hey, I just want to let somebody know, you know, I specifically asked for peanuts in it. Somebody put peanuts in it. My son had an allergic reaction. Of course, they would be like, oh, we're so sorry. We definitely didn't mean to. Is there anything we can do? How can we help? Can we give you a free smoothie? Like, that's normally how people react. You know what I'm saying? But when you come in with the fuck y'all energy, who the fuck made this movie? Like, if that's the first thing you saying going into the door.
And like, let me take a hot take though. That's why I don't like those fucking social experiments that people do online when they go to like the fast food restaurants. Who made this fucking burger?
Yeah. No,
it's a good fucking burger. Like, don't do that shit. Either. Like, because they didn't know. Like, you know, I mean, clearly they had the foresight to start recording, but like, you know, all these like, I don't like them.
And just like you say, if they don't record, it's this millionaire's word, right? This white male millionaire against these young women, and more than likely, like, they probably get fired, and he probably is looked at a certain type of way. So the fact that he knew he was being recorded and still felt like he had so much, you know, he had so much privilege that he was going to throw something on this woman, you know, throw something at this woman and at these young women and not be held accountable for it. So he was arrested. He did lose his job. You know what I'm saying?
Good.
So
it's just like big man thing. Yeah. It's like, why are you flexing on teenagers?
I mean, he could have had a lawsuit. He could have been fined, you know, right? Because it said no nuts, and there was nuts in the book. Yeah. I mean, there are some other things, and it's just like, if you're worried about your child having an allergy, why are you not with your child?
I was thinking that same thing. Is like, where's the kid? It's like, you're mad that he had a reaction, but like, shouldn't you be with him?
If your child is an anaphylactic shock, that's life or death. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you know, there's no abandoning him to like, or them to come on smoke with some youths, bro. Like, I don't know. But all of that aside, bro, it's like, yo, it's a fucking smoothie, innit? Like, how hard is your life? Where, like, you know what I mean? Like,
he dropped him off the ER. I was like, yo, I'm gonna go handle these smoothie girls. Like
I understand if you came home and your child said, "Hey, I ate out a trash can today," and then you know you go off.
You got some grounds to react like that. Yeah, you got some grounds.
Miracle. Don't bring that up because I'm mad again. I'm mad again. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead.
But then I understand that, but like, you literally leave your child who's having a medical emergency, and then you go yell and scream at people who don't know what's happening. Nah, that's not how you.
Yeah, with no context, they don't know why you're mad at this. I mean, just like you said, you come in with that. Who made this? Who the fuck made? Like, if you come in, like, if let's say I'm not saying me. Like, you coming in with all this energy and aggression, you know what I'm saying, from the door. But shout out to Blue Shirt. I know that's not her name. But whoever that girl in the blue shirt, like, shout out to her, shout out to that energy. She was not having it. She was like, nah, you're not about to degrade me. You're not about to intimidate me. So shout out to her, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, and Jim, and then, you know, the sad part, he'll probably get a job in a couple months, you know, he'll probably get another job, you know, that's that white male privilege. That's that whiteness that we're talking about, Joe Rogan. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is the whiteness that we're talking about. You know what I'm saying?
Just him hurling the invective, like, you immigrant bitch. Like,
yeah.
Is, like, now you're ethnically intimidating somebody at this point.
Absolutely.
Now, where's Aunt Camilla and Uncle Joe for these hate crime charges?
Come on.
Ethnic intimidation charges. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. Yes, that's what we need. That's what the prison. That's who needs to be in the prisons. Yeah, he probably will. He'll probably speak at the next Republican National Convention. You know, we'll see him in Pittsburgh when it comes here. So anyway,
I'm the financial consultant for the RNC.
He probably will be. I mean, you know, it's sad, you know.
And this smoothie was made correctly.
Yeah, Dr. Russell was saying Dr. Russell was saying like people were defending him. You know what I'm saying? Like that, you know, like she was on LinkedIn and white men were justifying his behavior. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, if I mean, and that's what's, but you know, like you said, this is the people that ran in the Capitol. Of course they would, right? Like violence, if you're a white man, violence, or white woman, violence, packing guns, all that is okay. You know what I'm saying? But if you black, none, like we're criminalized without it. We don't need a gun. We don't need nothing like that to be shot down by the police. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. It's like, why does this never happen in the establishments that I'm in? You know what I'm saying? Like, I want some smoke. You feel me? Like, send it my way. You want violence?
We don't want you to get.
But let me tell you,
I'm just gonna cry. They'd be like, "Oh my god, she just fell down and started."
Yeah, because if you're a millionaire, I'm trying to sue. He hit me with the smoothie. It caused me this type of harm. I want $1 million.
It was like, that's like the Eddie Murphy bit.
Yes, sue that man for his money. You know what I'm saying? So speaking of suing, and people for their money, or just understanding the law, our call to action today is we have a new show we're launching tomorrow at 7 p.m., which is hosted by our resident Esquire Miracle. It's called Ask a Black Lawyer. It's tomorrow at 7.
That's the full title. Ask a Black Lawyer, nigga.
Can you not get my stuff disbanded and defunded? Like, Jesus.
That's the full, like, only built from Cuban links, niggas. That's the title. Like, Ask a Black Lawyer, nigga.
No, it's just Ask a Black Lawyer. Do you have the flyer, John? It's tomorrow at 7 p.m. You have a panel of lawyers that's understanding the law. So we're asking folks if folks have some legal questions about.
They do.
What happened? What happened? I missed the joke. I don't know.
Totally do.
If you have legal questions, if you have questions about the law, you can tune in tomorrow at 7. It's going to be every month, the 4th Thursday of the month, every month, Ask a Black Lawyer. So that's our new show. So we want everybody to tune in tomorrow at 7.
Yeah, and it's gonna be really great. You're gonna take you a lot of information. Like, I've been talking to people, they didn't even know you can report a lawyer, or where you go to look up with your attorneys, or how do you find about filing fees, or different things. And each month we'll have a different conversation. So we're talking about what to do if you're in family court, how to file your own LLC, how to make sure your paperwork is right, so the PPP loan scams don't come and grab you when you be in Uncle Joe's prison. There's a lot of stuff that's out there, how to protect your estates, how to do a prenup. You want to protect your assets. You want to make sure that as you build wealth, somebody don't come scamming from you. A lot of things impact the law. If you want to do NFTs, if you want to build a corporation. So we're going to have a lot of really cool conversations, and it's going to be relatable, and you can ask questions. So again, the 4th Thursday of the month, and it's going to be a lot of different attorneys here in Pittsburgh. So thank you to the Allegheny County Bar Foundation and the Pittsburgh Black Lawyers Association, the Homer S. Brown Division, for their support. And I sent this to John. Our other action alert is we know that white supremacy shows up in a lot of ways, and one way that it shows up is in the failure to protect Black women and the failure to keep Black women safe. And we have the shooting deaths here in Pittsburgh, and so we're actually going to be posting some GoFundMes, so you can donate to a couple of GoFundMes of Black women who need support and resources as their families are trying to bury them.
Absolutely, that was one of the things we talk about, right? The police, police, aren't stopping crimes, right? They're showing up after the fact. And so one of the things that, we talked about the violence, and I know Amber talked about domestic violence on Tuesday, that pandemic inside of a pandemic, but there's no excuse for the death of these Black women. We stand with their families. We want to support those families. So check the link, check these GoFundMes, support these families that are needed in these times. Do we have a book? Do we have a white pages for today?
I'll grab one from our shelf. I thought we had one from your friends.
My friends? I mean, I got some friends right here. Yeah.
Where's my hold on. Oh, so you're talking about women. Go ahead.
Yes.
Oh, there's a lot of colors on this book, and I like it because my hoodie's colorful. What's it called?
Okay.
Bad Fat Black Girl. Did I read that right?
Yes.
Oh, okay, I did.
Who's the author?
Note from a Trap Feminist by Cecily Bauer. I hope I said your name right, sis. Cecily Bauer.
Yes. Boom.
Is it Cecily? Maybe Cecily?
Who knows? We don't know. What's a really cool book? We're talking about Black women today.
Yes.
But here's
yes.
a really cool book about Black women called Bad Fat Black Girl. This is not my nails on the cover, but it's really cool. You should read it. It's talking about feminism and different things.
Yeah,
so,
the subtitle is dope. Notes from a Trap Feminist.
Yeah, I like that.
That's hot. That's hot. That sounds like an album right there.
That's hot.
Notes
yeah, I think I'm definitely. I think I'm
a Black woman.
Yes.
I love Black women.
I think I'm definitely going to create a song called Uncle Joe's Prison. I think that's definitely.
That's so hot.
That's such a hot title for a joint. So, thank you for that, Miracle. Uncle Joe's Prison. That's hard. I'm definitely making a song.
When he does his interviews, he's like, it's a miracle. They're like, so you're being sued. The president is saying you are harassing him. He was like, well, it all started with miracle.
Yeah, it all started
well, this is what we're trying to do. We're trying to get this president to tweet about you like the last president.
I know.
Miracle.
The last president.
Remember the last? You don't remember that? The last president tweeted the video.
Oh no, I remember that. Yeah.
What?
But while we talking about it, you almost halted the first Black president from being elected. It was you. It was you, nigga.
You put out the photo?
No, he didn't put out the photo, but it was him. He almost kept history from happening.
Just
what did Mos Def say? It was you, nigga. Tell the truth, nigga.
No, I did put the photo out with I had no idea. No, this was back in the day. You know what I'm saying? But
that was his photo.
Listen,
that's my photo.
I'm not gonna speak for him, but this is what happened. I was there on the internet on Outdoors internet.
I didn't Google y'all.
Listen,
but before I met y'all, what?
A picture of Jasiri with the NOI pin.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
Came out with him and President, but then Congressman Obama,
Senator
Obama, like this.
Yeah.
And it was cool for like a week, and then it was who
they
is
definitely tried to come
with the NOI?
Yeah, they definitely
tried to come.
The
real picture came.
And bro,
what's the real picture?
With Farrakhan and Obama together.
Oh yeah, that was later on. But they did try to. I had an NOI pen. They tried to come at me. It was pretty wild. You know what I'm saying? This was Pamela. I forget her name.
I didn't
Pamela
know y'all
something.
back then. But I be with all the smoke, and the series be like, "No Miracle, you can't tweet nothing back." And I'm like, "But I want to." He's like, "No."
I remember texting Jasiri. I was like, "Are you good?" And the only thing he says was, "It's wild out here."
Yeah, it was wild. It was wild.
Like every time people try to cancel him on Twitter, he'd be like,
yeah.
Just pretend.
Yeah, I kind of keep my head down, and hopefully no one tries to cancel me this year. But last year was around my birthday. My birthday's coming up. Maybe.
I wish I could get canceled on my birthday. Maybe I get a GoFundMe.
Man, Lord have mercy. No, you don't want to come up against that. That was a wild scenario. But however, I think we're done. Anything else that we got to share? Any final words, final comments?
Man.
Never lose sight.
Oh,
lose sight?
Yes. If you are involved in any type of Black student union, please make sure you have reached out to us. Number one. Number two, if you are going to see the where are they?
Who?
Penguins.
Oh, the Penguins.
On Sunday, make sure you stop by the booths.
Yes, we'll be there.
Without your guns.
Yes.
Can you bring guns?
With love. I don't, man. If you got a concealed carry permit, I don't know. That's a great question, and I don't know if masks is a requirement. But yeah, come see us. We will be at the Penguins game this Sunday. We will have a booth. Lord knows what's going to be on a table, but we'll be there. You know what I'm saying? You'll be able to meet Trouble in person. You know what I'm saying? You'll be able to, so don't come with the smoke Trouble wanted. Come with the positivity. Right, Trouble? Positivity?
Yes, indeed. When I'm on the job, come at me with positivity. When I'm off the job, holla at me.
Well, Manny is coming with us, so if there's a gun thing, we got Manny. So anyway,
shout out to Manny.
Shout out to Manny, you know what I'm saying? He's coming to work with us. We're excited about that. So with that being said, action alert, join Miracle, ask a Black lawyer tomorrow. We posted the GoFundMe in the link, so please support that family. And let's hold all these families in prayer. It's been a lot of violence. A lot of us have lost. Let's hold all these people in prayer. But let's get out and do the work to make this world a better place, which is why we come to you every Wednesday at 6 p.m. to make this world a better place. Ain't that right?
Are you asking me to make the world a better place?
You just gonna go to space? You said fuck the world, you're going to space?
You know where I'm going, bro. This place could, but
one more thing. I did want to say this because my sister does watch the show regularly. So her birthday was this past Monday.
Oh, happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
You know what I'm saying? Thank you for watching the show. Happy birthday. Hopefully you see this and you didn't turn off yet. All right. So that being said, we'll see y'all next week, 6 o'clock. Be there. Peace and hood, y'all.
You us, John.
Welcome to the whitest house. Slave souls haunt the halls when the light is out. They suck the blood of the poor and to wipe their mouth. The last gasp of a world that is dying out. Welcome to the whitest house, where every room is a tomb that they lie about. Where you can put your filthy feet on the finest couch, and for the right amount, you can even buy